Hey guys and girls, and welcome to another AcornVision trailer analysis with me, Alan. Today we have a game franchise that many of you will know, and if like me, many of you probably like the franchise and at the same time hate the franchise. We are, of course, talking about Call of Duty, and this year it is the turn of Treyarch, and they are releasing Black Ops 3. Surprise, surprise. Well, I mean, it could have been anything, but the safe bet was Black Ops 3. And so a couple of days ago, they released the reveal trailer, and without further ado, let us get started. Immediately opening scenes. The first thing that I saw was this. Left hand side, this soldier seems to be putting down a robot of some sort. This seems to me like it was a battle zone, but now they've won or succeeded in whatever it is they're doing because they're all just standing around now. I mean, this guy, this guy, this guy. They don't look like they're in the middle of a battle anyway. And then you've got something else I've noticed, which was this guy in the bottom left, and then you've got these guys on the right. Um, they seem to be civilians, maybe contractors. Are they here to clean up after the battle, or were they brought in with the soldiers to neutralize something? I don't know. I mean, the structure in the background could be an important facility. I don't know, power station, whatever. And then obviously you've got like the fighter jet things flying in the background, and then this I assume is a helicopter of some sort which is taking off with its cargo. And then we move on to the next scene, and this could be the same sort of area. It seems like it could be. The building there that's been bombed. Does that look like something that's smashed into it? It could be a plane or something that's gone flying through the window. And then obviously you've got these things flying in the sky, which look to me like a future version of an Osprey. So those helo slash plane things. And the one on the left here seems to be carrying some sort of, I don't want to call it a vehicle, but it looks to me like it could be a tank, but with legs. So it, like, I don't know, like one of them things that can walk around. I don't really know how to describe those. And then you've got one down here as well being carried by that one. So yeah, and as we mentioned earlier, this year is the turn of Treyarch. And then this scene, first thing that I noticed was this gas tank on the side. And okay, it might not mean much, but this game is set in the future, far in the future. We're talking, I think it's 2060 or something like that. So they're still using petrol in the cars, not very futuristic. But I don't know. I don't know why they're using it. But that leads the question to why they're using that. Or maybe it's not. But I mean, it looks like a fuel tank, and there is that little symbol there of the thing being flammable, explosive, whatever. So it looks to me like it's a tank of fuel. Now, next thing I noticed was this thing on the side of the vehicle, truck, and it looks like some sort of a grenade launcher. You've got like a round there, and then you've got the clip there, but there's not a lot of rounds in the clip, so it can't be a machine gun. So it looks like it could be some sort of mounted rocket, not rocket launcher. Well, it could be a rocket launcher. I mean, I don't know. They kind of look like baby rockets, but it would make more sense to me that it's some sort of a grenade launcher. And then there's this guy here on the right hand side, not inside the truck. I noticed that on his shoulder it looks like two stars on his I don't know what you call that. Uh, I don't know. Like when soldiers have those like stripes and stuff, but notice that it isn't stripes, it's stars. Now, I believe a star is a general, so this guy, if I'm right in saying so, is a two-star general. Now, what is a two-star general doing on the battlefront? I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to be there, but I don't know. But that's why I noticed it. And then his weapon, I mean, I don't know. It could be whatever. And then one in the background, slightly different variant, I think. Looks, I don't know, whatever. Again, I'm not an expert on weapons, so I don't really know. This scene, again, more contractors on the right, or whatever, because they're not dressed up in military gear. They don't seem to be armed, and they're just writing stuff on paper. So they don't look very soldiery to me, but I don't know. Uh, and obviously the guy in the center is helping his comrade, or someone on the right. They seem to be wearing the same uniform, so I don't think it's an enemy troop. But something else I noticed was this thing on his back looks like some sort of communication device. Could it be, I don't know, a futuristic satellite phone, laptop, PDA, something strapped to his back? I don't know. But this gun here on the left, I'm assuming, is an LMG. It's got that, seems to have that belt-fed bucket thing that holds all the rounds in. And on this building on the left, on top, does that look like some sort of defense weapon? If I just let it go forward a bit, there are a few of them just along the top there. So it looks like it could be some sort of stronghold that they've just overtaken or taken back or something. I don't know. And then this scene is very similar to the scene we saw just earlier. The truck, the gun, and I'm assuming these guys are the two guys featured earlier. But this scene could be just before because they haven't yet got into the vehicle, so I don't think they're about to move out yet.
Don't have judgment.
And that was a lot of air stuff in the sky. If I just take it back slightly there, you know what, forget that. We'll look at that later. This one is something to note. He's swinging around like a knife thing in his hand, but his arm, that looks like completely robotic to me. So as if he's had a transplant of some sort. Not a transplant, but a replacement arm attached to his body. And female. And if I just bring it back a bit to this section here, notice there are 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think this is campaign footage. I think the entire trailer is campaign footage actually, because multiplayer is usually revealed later in the year, not too many months before the release. But I believe that the campaign now is up to 4 players. So Treyarch have done something which they haven't done since World at War, and that is make the campaign cooperative. You can play it cooperatively with friends, so up to 4 players, and you've got 4 different characters. Now, this little section here, obviously he's swimming, so there is now more water-based combat in the game, and you can see that he just starts shooting straight away. This bit here, did you see the way that this guy's arm just transformed into a, I don't know, like a Gatling gun thing, and it just starts laying waste. And then this is something else I noticed. Well, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people noticed, but this guy or thing, robot, has released like this little swarm of, well, they look like insects to me, but I'm assuming they're a nano swarm or something like that. And then this swarm of bots just goes and destroys these enemy soldiers. Now, the slide returns, as you can see here, but notice that he turns it during the slide, so it seems like you have more control over the slide instead of just going forward and knee sliding forward to cover or whatever. You can actually knee slide now and spin around. So does that mean you can, if an enemy is around the edge, can you slide towards that corner, spin around, just start spraying in their direction, which I think would be pretty cool. But does that mean now that the dolphin dive, or dive to prone if you want to go by the official name, has been removed? Or is that character specific now? Because if the knee slide is incorporated, what button do you assign that to? And I'll just take it back a little bit. Does this not look like that robot thing that I was talking about earlier? Not the robot thing, the tank. The tank that was being carried by the helicopter. And that looks like a big ass gun. That's kind of weird actually. I mean, I didn't know any better. I thought it was some sort of a railgun, but I mean, I don't know. But anyway, it's got legs and it's walking around, so I'm assuming I was right in calling it a tank thing. And again, we've got these characters running around. So I'm assuming this is part of the co-op in the campaign. This guy's got some really interesting armor. Not armor, but like, I don't know, he's wearing some sort of a weird See now, this looks like the frame of an exosuit. But we didn't see that on the other guys that I pointed out. So is this guy different in some sort of way? Maybe he's using the exosuit because the other people have biotics built in to them, and this guy's all human, for example, where so he needs the exosuit, whereas the other guys are part robot, therefore they don't need the suit. Is that why that is? And I believe in this game there's going to be a lot more focus on fighting against enemy robotic troops because, well, I mean, case in point, there is a robot there and this guy is shooting the crap out of him. But so less fighting humans, more fighting bots. But does that mean we also have bots fighting for us as well, or is this, I don't know, one of them things? Now, if I just take it back a little bit to this, um, this was the opening scene that we saw. So I think this is during. So I think this trailer is based a lot around this one fight, a before and after and during sort of thing. And I don't know, red flag. Does that Russia? Well, obviously the Russian flag is not red now, but back in the day it was that sickle and hammer, which was on a red background, which is pretty similar. But then again, China has a red flag, so and of course in Ghosts, Federations had that kind of burgundy color. So are we seeing a sort of crossover? Probably not. I'm probably reading a lot into it. It's probably just a local coffee shop. To be honest, I mean I don't know what it is. There's no distinguishable features about it, so ignore me. And that obviously that thing, whatever it was, just got shot out of the sky and just crashed into the ground. Now this is a robot, and the guy is knee sliding under it and shooting its underbelly. So is that the weak point? I believe so. And if we just see now this, I noticed this looks an awful lot like the gun that was mounted on the side of that vehicle. See that little rocket there? No, not the rocket, the grenade around there, and that's the clip, I believe. So does that mean you can rip it off the side of the car and use it as a weapon, a heavy weapon? There's a lot of gore that I've seen, and that's obviously one of Treyarch's distinguishable features in their campaigns, and that is that limbs get blown off and blood goes flying everywhere, and it's great. it's really interesting. But this scene here, I paused it because obviously the robotic hands, and he seems to be prying a door open. Uh, could this be the scene that we just saw? Like there was a guy inside the back of, I think, a downed transport helicopter or something. Could be the Osprey, and he's just wedging the door open to free him or to get inside for whatever reason, or maybe he's, I don't know. It could be, well, my money is on trying to get in or get out of some sort of vehicle. Now, I don't know about this. I mean, obviously it's a handgun of some sort, and this guy is pointing it at someone. He's wearing a funky helmet. I don't know. But his hands look to me like they're human. They don't look robotic to me. This laser, I don't know what this laser is all about. I mean, it could just be for aesthetic purposes, but it looks a little bit bright to be just any ordinary laser. So, built-in laser? Nah, that can't be right. I don't know. Something to think about.
How far can we push technology? I could not foresee this thing
happen. I'm assuming that cave section and that flare section are linked in some way, probably some sort of stealth mission or behind enemy lines, that sort of thing. This trailer analysis is taking a lot longer than I predicted it would. There's a lot to talk about. I didn't realise until you start talking about it. There's quite a lot to discuss. So I'm gonna have to split this video into two. I'm gonna edit some stuff out, so if there's any weird cuts in the audio feed, then you'll know why that is. So yeah, hopefully just a two-part video, and this is gonna be the end of the first part. So I will link the second part as soon as it goes live, if it hasn't already. So hopefully I'll join you then. Take care.